What's up everyone, my name is Mike and welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to talk about the AMA that went through today, just point by point what they talked about. Let's get into this. So first off, they talked about the errors that have been popping up on the app, being that they are trying to get a hold of all the bots and some people have been being banned. So they just talked about that, said sorry, but there is going to be some errors in that case, as well as several load errors when people go for drops, and that's essentially going to be fixed once they get to a queue system for the drops. In early Q2, there's going to be a search update for the platform, and the bookmarking is going to be fixed in their next update. The market page has been updated to show trending, so you don't have to scroll through all the different brands to find the recently dropped items. Likely that recently dropped item is going to be at the top of that trending page for the market. KYC is going to be introduced for onboarding new users, as well as the next time you log on, you will have to do KYC once that comes out soon. Now MTL, they talked about, that's coming soon, and it's still in beta, being rolled out. The people with more gems in their wallet are being prioritized. It's not necessarily that you won't get it if you don't have a significant amount of gems in your wallet, but those with significant gems, or whatever that means to them, will be prioritized. And they talked about the compliance issues that are causing delays with this, and that they are being audited and everything that goes into this MTL, especially with New Zealand. And they mentioned a fairly new law in terms of money laundering, and they specifically said that New Zealand wants to be a country that is very difficult, one of the most difficult places to do money laundering. And they talked about a new law, and it depends on how you interpret new, but I did some research on this just now, and what I find online is the Anti-Money Laundering and Countering Financing of Terrorism Act was introduced in 2013 in New Zealand. So maybe that's fairly new depending on your definition of new, but that is about 9 years ago. But when it comes to new and compliance issues, 2013 is when that was introduced. Maybe they're just having a little bit of difficulty, being that they also mentioned in this, and they've mentioned before in other AMAs, that MTL wasn't actually in their roadmap to start. So they are now retroactively having to go back and just focus on these compliance issues rather than having a platform that had it in the roadmap in the first place. So maybe there is some difficulty there. That can be interpreted however you wish there. They also talk about the fees being 10%. Why? Obviously the Google and Apple fees for being an app and having in-app purchases are significant, upwards of 30%, but also sales tax in different regions. They said that in some cases they're making about 55% of what you put into the platform when you purchase gems. So they need to make back a little bit more on the back end when things are withdrawn. Thus why 10% is the issue there, as well as that they're creating a web-based platform, and they showed that a little bit there. It looks exactly like the app with a little bit more functionality in terms of being able to see your account balance with the projected price of your collectibles. But they also mentioned that when the web-based platform gets launched and we're able to purchase gems on there and to be able to see all our OMI and our wallet there, the fees will likely be reduced because there's not that Apple and Google 30% taken off. Comics in the showroom is not prioritized with everything else that they've got going on, but they are close, so that's coming soon. The drop queue, they've staged and tested a number of weeks here, and they are working on a load test right now just to make sure everything is up to date. And actually that will be started in April, where the first drop with the queue will be done. And this is really nothing new, we've heard this before, but actually in those first drops they're going to do possibly a VeVe merch of some sort, and they're actually going to do it duo. They're going to do the queue system as well as the current system back to back there to test. With this queue system, it'll be something like 15 minutes before the drop you can join, and then it'll be a random chosen message that will go out to those who got it, and you won't need to have gems loaded up. So it won't be like right now where you need those gems loaded up, even though they say that you don't. Likely you can't get those gems loaded up in time with the server load, but with this queue system and less load on the server, you can actually be able to check out, you'll get your collectible, and then you can check out to be able to then load up gems to get that. So this could cause less of a gem squeeze. Still, we might experience a gem squeeze for those loading up gems to be able to purchase in the aftermarket to complete sets, but definitely maybe a bit less of a gem squeeze if you don't need as many gems in your wallet to go for the drop. MCP is going along well. It is coming soon. The majority of the back end work is done, and then it goes off to get the front end completed so that what we see is done, and they're saying early Q2 for front end development. Interoperability is being worked on. It's just a process of being onboarded, and with this we'll be able to see previous owners, sales history in the market. The metadata will be available through IMX and Mutascan, whatever you need to see with your collectibles there. They talked about the Artist Alley low edition auctions that will be coming to the platform. That's been talked about before as well, and this will be run on the web-based platform for those auctions. It'll be interesting to know if we can add multiple users on a variety of desktops, laptops, and go for multiple drops like people are doing with their phones right now. After all was said and done, 782,000 went to the Red Cross for the Ukraine crisis from that Ron English drop, and they're actually planning on a few more drops. They had a support of artists come out and want to also collaborate towards this, they said. The promo code offers utility. It will be used to enter into VeVe for a specific collectible, and this was actually used for the Marvel Unlimited. It's a comic book subscription platform, and this was used for their fans to get that comic book collectible in the app. So this is where we'll see the physical world come to VeVe, which is amazing to see, and to actually get some news on this. They talked about physical pieces being delivered to certain regions. NFT artwork for those physical collectibles are being finalized, and these are going to be thousands of dollars for these. They're just working on logistics, and this year they said that this is going to be rolled out. The DeLorean animateds are going to be interactive, and this was also mentioned in a previous AMA. And another brand or two pieces to be dropped in the future, whatever this means, will be also upgraded in the platform. And of course, Ecomi Omi functions are coming soon. We don't know exactly when just yet for these, but OMI to NFT and OMI being used in the lottery waitlist system, much like MCP will be used, is coming soon. Unfortunately, nothing too big with this announcement and everything that I talked about here. Just in case you missed it, I thought I'd go through everything, but just a lot more questions kind of get raised from this. But it is good to see their faces and to have these State of the Union type announcements. It's just nice to have some sort of update. It would be great if there was some sort of question and answer like they've done in the past. But I'd like to know your thoughts in the comments section as always. Let me know what you thought about this meeting. Anything that came up as a question for you, leave it in the comments section below. Like this video if you found it helpful for whatever reason, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more VeVe content. Thank you so much for watching.